Happy day, children. This is Crystal, your grade 6 English teacher. In this video, I'm going to tell you the story of the fourth lesson from our reader, and the name of the lesson is A New Name. So, children, how will you feel if you are given a new name by others? Would you like someone imposing a new identity on you? So, this story, which I'm going to tell you, has got a historical background dated back to the year 1940. So just imagine you are not given the freedom to tell your name out, or you are not given the freedom to follow your tradition or culture. So the story which I'm going to tell you is about a 10-year-old Korean girl. So the situation described here in this lesson is an effect of war, where the Japanese had taken over the Koreans. So war is something that is terrible, isn't it, children? And the effect of war is even more worse. So here, the effect of war to the common people has been portrayed. And as a result, the Koreans were not given the freedom to follow their culture, history, tradition, or they were not allowed to learn their language. So let's get started with the lesson, children. A New Name, written by Linda Sue Park. So she is the author, Linda Sue Park. A few lines about the author. So she is the author of 24 books for young readers, including picture book, short stories and poetry. In 2002, she won the Newbery Medal for the book A Single Shred. Most of her work is based on Korean history, as she was a Korean American writer. This chapter is an extract that is taken from the book When My Name Was Kyoko. This story is about a Korean girl. Now children, if I tell you that from today the name that you are having will not be your name anymore, and instead I tell you that I will give you a new name and that will be your name forever. I tell you that you cannot speak in your mother tongue. I tell you that it is compulsory that you speak in a foreign language. And suppose if this happens, how will you feel? And I'm sure that this will give you a feeling of something being snatched from you, isn't it? The same thing happened to this girl. So she was a 10-year-old girl and her name was Kim Sun-hee, and her brother's name was Kim Ta-yu. This story was said to happen in the year 1940, and Japan had taken over Korea, and the Japanese were trying to snatch away the culture from the Korean people. And the Koreans were told to change their names to Japanese names, and it was compulsory to talk only in Japanese language. So when this girl came to know that her name Kim Sun-hee will get a new name, she felt really bad. So this story is about her feelings and the impact it created on her and the other children. Basically, I would like to divide this lesson into 3 subdivisions. Number 1, new law and its impact. So what was the new law, and by whom was it imposed, and what impact did it create? And number 2, the incident at school. What was that incident that happened at school, and how did Kyoko feel about it? And the third subdivision is Kyoko and Tomo's friendship. Tomo was Kyoko's Japanese friend, and Kyoko was a Korean girl. So what kind of a friendship these two children have? Coming to the characters of the lesson, Kim Sun-hee, a Korean girl, and the Japanese name that was given to her was Kyoko. Next, Kim Ta-yul was Kyoko's brother, and Tomu was Kyoko's Japanese friend, and Onishi was the army officer, the Japanese army officer who comes there to her school, and every week he comes there for inspection to see whether the rules and regulations imposed by the Japanese are followed in a regular manner. In the next part of the video, I will be telling the summary of the lesson, A New Name. Thank you, children.